We just talking.
Male-centered women are the most dangerous women on the planet, especially if they also have a little teaspoon of low self-esteem. And I'm saying that as a woman who was raised by a pick me, who also was extremely male-centered. When I initially started getting tattoos, the first thing she said to me is, "What man is going to marry you with tattoos?" That was her first thing. Not if, do you like the body art that you put on yourself? Just what man is going to marry you? When I didn't really cling to cooking like how she did, "Oh, what man is going to marry you and you don't even like to cook?" And I'm like, why is everything about a man? Will you ever find your own true happiness on what you like and what you like to do? Because your whole personality is based on male acceptance, somebody marrying you, and somebody wanting to be with you. And I've never been that way. If a man tells me he likes me in pink hair, I'm going to go get blue. I'm not here for male acceptance. I'm not male centered. And I don't care whether a man likes what I do or don't do. But male centered and low self esteem women, they care so much about what men think. Not only will they put themselves in danger, they will put their kids in danger. They will put their friends in danger, and they will put other family members in danger. And I say that because they're the type to always turn the other cheek. "Oh, he did this, he did that, but he's just a man. So I'm going to make an excuse for him, and I want to be married, or I want to portray that I have this certain family aesthetic." And you know it's not a good one. And they will go as far as letting these men physically and emotionally abuse their children, which is exactly what ended up happening to me by my stepdad. And my mom never stepped in. Male centered women, I stay away. I keep my distance. I don't want no parts.
If you grew up with a people pleasing, pick me, male centered mother, there's a very good chance that you grew up believing that love had to be earned. No one ever sat you down and said, "You are lovable just as you are. You are worthy just as you are." So instead, you grow up internalizing the fact that if you do not bring value to the table, then you do not deserve love. And that belief is so bad because it follows you for the rest of your life if you do not fix it. And the worst part about this trait, this belief system that you have internalized, is that it shows up in every facet of your life. At work, you want to be the most hardworking person. You want to do the most hours. You want to say no to your friends because again you have to show up at work. You have to show that you're valuable. You do not believe that you are worthy the way you are. You believe that you have to earn that value. It shows up in how you look for love relationships. It shows up literally in everything that you do. You feel like you have to earn love. You feel like you have to perform so that you can get this love, so that you can get the approval of other people.
I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Male centered women are dangerous as hell. A male centered woman will put your life at risk, her life at risk, everyone around her for the approval of a man. The male species, listen. If you find that you are around a male centered woman, you need to leave immediately. And if you find that you are a male centered woman, can you unlearn some of that misogyny before you fuck around and get one of us killed? Girl.
The reason a lot of us say that male centered women are dangerous is because we've seen the damage. A male centered woman will excuse abuse. She'll throw her friends under the bus for a man. She'll prioritize a boyfriend's comfort over her own child's safety. Oh my God. And that is so wild to me, okay?
I'm gonna be real. I do not like male-centered women on no end of the stick. And whether that's a friend, family, foe, whatever. I have my days of that. But at the same time, you can only have grace for those women so much because male-centered women would set you up. They would call off plans with you. They would throw you in a ditch for a man. Like, they just will not value who you are initially as a person because everything in their head is about dick, dick, dick. And if it's not about dick, 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 it's about a man, man, man. And half of the time, the same men that they be having on their brain is not doing anything to help their lives be better as a woman. They're not making their lives easier. They're not trying to pursue them and make them their wives. But they just want you as a sex buddy, and they want you as somebody to talk to whenever they fall bored, but they're not really pouring life into you the way that they should. And it's just so saddening to see women put all of their time and their effort into that relationship and not balance other relationships, not pour life back into themselves. Like, I feel like a lot of women be male-centered, but at the same time, you're fat. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm calling awareness to things that need to be exposed. You worried about a dude, but you could be on the treadmill trying to get your body banging as possible. And I'm not talking about for no man, just for yourself so that you can look better, you can feel better. You worried about a nigga. Let me not even say nigga. You worried about a man and your bank account is low. You know, I even have to have this talk with myself. Bree, there's no way in hell you thinking about a man right now and you don't got the money that you need. You missing certain resources out your life. Are you crazy? But all you care about is marriage. Like, that makes no sense to me. And that's why I don't like male-centered women, because it just makes me realize that there's nothing else fun about you. There's nothing else that's interesting about you other than dick and trying to be somebody girl. And baby, if that's all that you born for, you gonna have to stay the hell away from me, because you don't got no personality, boo. Like, have you read a new book this year? When was the last time you talked to your granny, bro? Granny 89 years old. You don't even remember the last time you talked to Granny, but you remember the last time you rode a piece of penis into the sunset.
Now, this is not to say that every woman who values men is dangerous. I mean, I value men. Not every woman who wants marriage is male-centered. We get that. The danger is not in loving men. Loving men is a completely healthy thing. As a matter of fact, I would not want to be around a woman who hates men. That is crazy to me. That is not healthy, okay? So that's not what we're talking about when we talk about male-centered women.
The older I get, the more I realize how undesirable it is to hang out with women who do not have hobbies. They don't do YouTube, they don't do Bible study, they don't hike, they don't do anything. They are just so male-centered. Everything about them, everything that surrounds them, everything that they are attached to is so male-centered. Everything, the entire conversation comes back to their boyfriend, their husband. Everything comes back to a man that they are dating. And it's so exhausting to be friends with people like that, because you could really just be telling them about your day and they will bring up their husband, their boyfriend, etc. in some capacity. Everything that they have going on is about a man. Even when they're asking for advice about their boyfriend or their man or whatever, they will pose it in a way that they're asking for advice, but they're really not asking for advice. They just want a way to talk about their what they have going on. And it's just like they don't have anything else going on but this person.
It can be so hard to hang around a woman who has no sense of individuality outside of a man. Everything this woman does is about a man. They get lip fillers because of a man. They get the BBLs because of a man. They do everything for a man. And it's so exhausting to hang around a woman like this who has no personality, who has no life, who has no a sense of self. It's just so exhausting. And women need to love themselves, honestly. We need to love ourselves and find value in ourselves because, again, we are valuable. We are lovable just as we are. So we need to see that. So you have to ask yourself, like, outside of this man, am I really? Who am I outside my man? Who am I outside my family? Who am I? Because I think that makes you more interesting when you have your own goals, when you have your own life. You can read a book, you can go hang around with your friends without feeling like, oh my God, what is my man going to think about me? Like, ew.
So traits of a male-centered woman is so obvious because I've been around a lot of male-centered women. One way I can tell when a woman is male-centered is she's a validation junkie. Only feels enough when a man tells her that she's sexy, she's pretty, wanted. Another way I can tell when a woman is male-centered is she has pick-me energy. She will throw other women under the bus just to look different or better for a man.
Now, these male-centered women can be so dangerous, especially if you work with one of them in the corporate spaces, because what they'll do is that they'll act like your friend, they'll laugh with you, they'll say they support you and they want the best for you, but the second impressing a man benefits them, they will throw you under the bus without hesitation, because to them, your friendship is just a small price to pay for male validation, for male approval. And that's why you have to be very, very careful around these women, especially in corporate spaces.
As much as men are always out here in the comment section of a pick-me women saying, protect her at all costs, that's a queen right there. See, a lot of y'all women need to think like her. Notice these women are typically single. For all the men who act like, this is the kind of woman I'm looking for, how come they never look her way? These women should have a line of men, a harem of men, if you will, begging, pleading, hoping to be with them, but that's never the case because they only use you as an example. They want to be able to show women, look, we're not crazy. Other women think like this. Look at this woman right here. That's all they use you for. When they're looking for a mate, they're looking for somebody that has some standards, that has some values, that has good self-esteem. They don't want those women. They step over those women. Step over those women to get to the ones who are like, I don't really think so. I don't like that. I want a man to pay all the bills. I want a man to do these things. They want to make other women change their mind and be like, look, just be like her and I'll pick you. But we don't want to be picked. We're picking ourselves.